of the language, it's an epithet, qualifier, in the sense that the way you adjectives. So Sanskrit means refined. Refers to refined nature of this language. It's not that it is refined from some raw state, but it has been refined right from its inception. When you have certain experience with the sounds. Here, when we talk about language, the three S aspects we need to keep in mind: sound, sense, and symbol. And here, in Sanskritam, you will find there is an eternal relationship between sound, sense, and symbol. In the conventional languages, they are different. The sound and sense do not have a connection. I give this example everywhere. Suppose you take English as a language. Why this is called hand? It's very difficult to explain. Or why a certain object is named by a certain word. We say chair, table, fan, this, that. Very difficult to explain. But here is a language. Just imagine a language which doesn't have a single word for any object. Doesn't have a single word for any object. You may ask, what is this? Then does Sanskritam have no word? Chair, fan? Yeah, it has. Not one, it can have many words. It does have many words. But it refers, it describes the properties of the object, which is entirely property-based language. The quality. So the object can change. The gunas are eternal, and Sanskritam deals only with the eternal aspect. So it's a language. Right? I'll give you certain examples. How this language, the way it is designed, if we understand the whole metrics of it, we will understand what reality is, what God is, and what science is trying to reach towards. Can you tell me why this is called body? Very difficult to answer. The B-O-D-Y, body. Very difficult to answer why it is called. In Sanskritam, you have so many words. You have Shariram, you have Deha, you have Kaya, you have Kalevara, and many other words. Just take one simple word, Deha, and then go to the deeper root of it. So there are two types of etymologies available in the tradition. One is a very traditional, fanciful etymology. One is a root-based etymology. Okay. Now the word Deha comes from a root sound called Dihi. In English, if you put it, it will be D-I-H, D. The fundamental experience with Dihi, the primary idea of Dihi is to gather, to collect, to pile up. Okay. Suppose this is a book space, and all those who are here are interested in books, and we started gathering books. Now this primary idea of gathering, it leads to what? What is the immediate physical experience? So when you say there was no book on this table, and suddenly you find hundreds of books are gathered. So from 0 it becomes 100. So you see the growth of it. You go to the dictionary, you will find the second layer of meaning of the will be to grow, to enhance. So you can explain from the most physical to the emotional to the psychological to the spiritual, all realms of meaning of growth will be part of the second layer. That's why every root sound has multiple meanings, And what is the immediate physical experience when something grows? So it brings the sense of, like, suppose you all are sitting here, both of us, we are sitting here. Now books are gathered, piled up. Now you cannot see us, I can't see you. So it's covering, blocking. Okay. So to cover in all its senses, physical, emotional, psychological, spiritual, falls into the third layer of meaning. So single root sound based on the different experiences that we have. Because in this book you will find that how a sound, when it is uttered, a single sound, root sound, monosyllabic, or having two, three more syllables, when it is uttered, so there is a sensation, there is some certain kind of experience we have with the sound. So that vibration, when it gets connected with our consciousness, giving us different experiences, those experiences becomes the meanings of the root sounds. That's why each root sound has several layers of meaning. Dhatava anekarthakaha. So many meanings you will find. Now you take all the three layers of meanings to gather, compile, pile up, collect, assemble. Second layer of meaning, to grow, to enhance, to develop. Okay. Or the third layer of meaning, to hide, to cover, to plaster. So all these meanings will come in the third layer. And then how all the three layers of meaning describe the gunas of the body. So the first state, like, the body is not a single mold piece. Maybe that is a kind of body which Sri Aurobindo talks about. Mental body will be without bones, without digestive system, or without anything. It's a single mold, very plastic. You can squeeze it and then leave it like that. Maybe that's something, a future body. But at present, body is not a single mold. It's a collection of many things. Blood, uh, elements, organs, and assembly. That's the first layer. Then growth. The body, the property of it is like, I am not of the same size as I was born. Its body's, deha's dharma, guna, to grow. I eat more, then I become fat. I also reduce. But when I am growing, it is deha. But when I am reducing, aging body will not be called deha. Aging body will be called sharira, because shru is deteriorating. It's very consciously our rishis have designed the language and have used it perfectly. While dealing with aging body, they will not use the word deha. While dealing with the growing body, they will not use the word sharira. Okay. So now the third layer of meaning, to cover. The body is like a case, like a kosha, okay, which conceals the soul within. The Atman uses the body as a case, okay, as a covering. So take all the three layers of meaning, and then you understand, like, why body is called the Deha. And when I contemplate on the different root sounds, different layers of meaning, and understand a particular word, it creates a different kind of awareness in me about myself and all that lies outside. Now, another interesting thing is, like, if you add a prefix sam to deha, the word becomes sandeha, which means doubt. Why? It is not becoming a perfect body. Why? It takes the third layer of meaning, perfect covering. So it refers to, sandeha refers to, what is the source of doubt. The source of doubt is a clouded consciousness where reality is not seen. There is no clarity. So when that clouding, that covering is cleared, you have a clarity in consciousness, you have a clear consciousness, the reality, the truth is right before you. So the doubt, doubt cannot explain you what happens when you are in a doubtful state. The source of doubt is a clouded consciousness. So this is how the language is designed, and it helps us understanding the reality.